Hey, it's Jer. A quick word before we get started. We want to know why you love the show and what you would tell somebody if you wanted to tell them about the show so that they listen to it. dailydetroit.com/pod survey. That's dailydetroit.com/pod survey and help us grow the show. Thank you so much. Hello, friends. I'm Jer Stays, and welcome to your Daily Detroit, sharing what to know and where to go in Southeast Michigan. It is a sunny but chilly Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to preview the St. Patrick's Parade coming up this Saturday. It's been around for more than 6 decades with a focus on celebrating the Irish communities, a focus on having fun, and supporting some charities. So let's just jump into that conversation. Joining me on the line is Mike Kelly. He is the president of the United Irish Societies and co-chair of the St. Patrick's Parade here in Detroit. Mike, welcome to Daily Detroit.
Jared Killer, you guys do a wonderful job. You guys got a great program, and thank you for all you do.
Well, and thank you for all that you do. I have been to a number of your events over the years. What year are we now? What, our 65th?
This is our 65th year, and it's the oldest and longest ethnic parade in the city of Detroit. We keep the parade in Detroit because when the Irish immigrated to the United States, they all moved into Southwest Detroit and Corktown. So we have a history with Corktown in the city. And we also have a relationship with Cork, Ireland, which has come about because of our Queen of the Detroit United Irish Societies program, and Sheila Cassidy, who was the chairwoman of that great event. She built a relationship with Cork, Ireland, and they come over to support us for the weekend of the parade. They come from Ireland. We've got Deirdre O'Brien. She's a deputy mayor of Cork County. We've got former mayor Mary Lenahan Foley, Kay Dawson, and senior officers, Mags Donovan. And for years, they've been coming over to our parade, and they spend the weekend with us. They meet with dignitaries. We signed a friendship agreement with the city of Detroit in 2019. They've been very big part of our parade and the work that we do in Detroit. We send the Queen over there with a contingent to Cork, and they're treated like dignitaries, and when they come to visit us, we treat them like dignitaries, and they're very active in our parade and all our events this weekend. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's very cool to see that international flair to it and that real continued Irish connection. You know, these kind of parades, they haven't done as well over the years across the United States, but Detroit's is still going strong, and you're continuing to evolve with the times. How are you able to do that? It's pretty impressive.
I will say that our theme this year is Irish Strong Together in Detroit. And that says a lot about our Irish community. We're a tenacious bunch of people who do quite a bit of charity work. They donate their time and resources to so many charitable organizations throughout the year. And again, it's a time to celebrate our Irish heritage and to showcase our Irish community in a family-friendly atmosphere. And that's helped us over the years. It's been great. We've had a lot of support from the member groups. We've had support from the community. Of course, we have a large parade. Some of these other parades have closed or stopped operating because of funding. And we're unfortunately seeing the same battle. I said we had a group that started back in 2018, and we said, if we don't do something, we're not going to be able to afford a parade too much more in the future. And we asked some of our older members of some of these organizations who are very active, say, hey, do you want to run a parade or do you want to have a parade? Because they didn't understand how we got the parade company involved. Tony Michaels and his crew. Amber Avig is the director this year for us, and she's doing an incredible job. They handle the administrative work of the parade, and they bring their volunteers for us on parade day. Because without them, we couldn't staff the volunteers needed, nor could I handle the application process and all the work that I used to do, 15, 20 years ago when I, first got involved in all this. It's quite an operation. So we try to look that we're put on an event that's professionally managed and respected in the community. That's, I think, how we've kind of kept us as, over the years, through the groups and marching on Woodward and moving it to Corktown and Michigan Avenue. That's how we've evolved, and it's been incredible.
For sure. I'm looking at the stuff here. I didn't realize that it can attract between 80 and 100,000 people, making it one of the largest in the country right here in Metro Detroit. It's an event that brings in Detroiters, and it brings in, Metro Detroiters alike to kind of commiserate and see all the interesting things that happen, march down Michigan Avenue, and then also patronize the businesses near it.
And that's another thing also, Jer, that there's a buzz going in Corktown. There has been for, the last several years. But, we get people come in, and depending on the weather, the crowd, it's the first big event of spring. And people like to come out and, part of the Corktown races, they bring a crowd out. They're successful with their run because of our parade. And the parade generates the crowd from the Corktown races to stick around and watch the parade. So it's two great events working together. And I know Doug Curtis and the Fraternal Order of United Irishmen do a tremendous job with this Corktown races. And it drives a considerable amount of money that we use to donate throughout the year. It's evolved, and the costs have gone up. And I can see how these other cities have, quit putting the parade on because of the liability and because of the costs associated with it. And like I mentioned, when I started working on the parade, the DPW, Detroit Public Works, would clean the streets. Detroit Tactical Operations would put bike barricades up drop them off on Friday, and they'd put them up on Sunday where they saw necessary. And, we had a few golf carts, and we put some porta-johns out, and that was it. And we had some great crowds, and, we wanted to change. There was an image problem, and to have a professional family event, we took strides to eliminate some trouble and keep the south side of Michigan Avenue family friendly. And we started a family fun zone, which has been very successful for us.
Yeah, let's talk about that family fun zone. I think that's something that maybe people who haven't been down in a while, there was a little bit of break with that pandemic and everything, and people get a little bit older, their place in life changes. They might be interested more in that family fun zone as time goes on, So can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, just ironically enough, I had a group from Ohio call me, and they don't have kids, but they want to come up to the fun zone because they've got, we've got a great program there at the downtown car wash right at the start of the parade. Again, I said Jameson Irish Whiskey is sponsoring the Family Fun Zone this year. Live entertainment from Madigan's Attic. We have heated bleachers. We have private porta-johns and wash stations. We have a tent. And we got donuts from the Looney Bakery in Livonia. We have coffee and hot chocolate and a face painter. So there's entertainment there. And then, of course, Paws and Rory show up. That's the Tigers mascot and the Lions mascot. Get kids loving without the Ghostbusters. They show up, and, it's a photo op for all the family and the kids. And it's a great time for the families, but it's unique. They get private parking. And they can come up to the parade and they're in their own area for families. And Jason Rayfeld from WOMC is going to MC that for us this year. And we're very excited to have him. But it's the start of the parade. And what a better place to be at the start of the parade or at the very end,
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, all of this, the United Irish Societies, I have known of you all for a number of years and the work you've done. But, I kind of realize that some of my listeners might not know kind of the story behind the Irish Societies. So can you kind of share that a little bit and the charity work? Because really it's all about charity. It's all about giving back. And at least that's my experience.
It is. So there's 35 member groups that make up the United Irish Societies. The Ancient Order of Hibernians, the Walsh Division, the Solanus Casey Division, the M. Thomas Dunleavy Division, the Patrick Ryan Division, the Ladies Ancient Order of Hibernians, the Rose Kennedy, Ethel Kennedy. These are groups, the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, the Knights of Equity, Fraternal Order of United Irishmen. And then there's clans that make up the United Irish Society. So these are member groups, and each of these groups usually have some charities to work with. We support Camp Casey, kids with cancer. We support the First Step. The Knights of Equity supports St. Christine's Food Pantry. The Fraternal Order of United Irishmen support everybody. Solanus Casey always puts on their big Super Bowl party as an SOUP, soup, their Super Bowl party, for the Capuchins, Redford Interfaith. I mean, a lot of different organizations. And the parade has sponsored Bridges Beyond Boxing, where we send kids from Detroit to Ireland to box, and kids from Ireland come to Detroit. And, it's funny, it doesn't make a difference in the kids in Ireland, if they're Protestant or Catholic, or if the kids are white or black. They get together in a community and they live together. We have guests, putting the kids up from Ireland, and they get together for a week of boxing, putting on events, and learning about each other's culture. And it's an incredible thing that we've done with Ireland. We support Downtown Boxing Gym. It's a program for kids after school. So these are the kind of things that the United Irish Societies do throughout the year. This year in particular, we're supporting Father Tim McCabe and the Pope Francis Center. They take care of the homeless people down there and do a great job with that. But these are the things that we do as an Irish community throughout the year.
Yeah, and how did you get involved in all of this? Because you've been involved for a few years now. This is something that you're clearly very passionate about. How did you get tied into all of this?
Well, it's funny. My parents were involved. We grew up coming down to the parade when we were kids and walking in the parade. And then I went away to Central Michigan, and, we'd come back for the parade. And, it was an event to come to be with your family and your friends and, march in the parade, St. Patrick's Parade. And I went away to work. I worked out of Florida for 7 years, and I would still come back to the parade. And then I came back and got involved. Margaret Murphy, God love the Murphy family, got me involved with Most Holy Trinity and the Sharing of the Green as an usher. And they got me involved in the parade of the United Irish Societies. And I'd start going to the meetings. And Dennis Hayes, our past president, and Joe Parsky, God rest his soul, the chairman of the parade forever, God, they got me involved. And it's been a crazy run, I'll tell you that. It's been great. But we've evolved from IBM Selectric. Joe Parsky would have his girl do and putting on little sticker labels and yellow envelopes and mailing. And then when I got involved, we got everything to go electronic, and everything was in color. And, we used to send things out via email instead of mailing. And, we evolved and, got high tech. It's been incredible.
For sure. So someone wants to come to the parade. What are the details that they need to know? Time, all that stuff. Where should they go?
The parade starts at 1 o'clock on Sunday, March 12th, and it's the 65th annual parade. Our Grand Marshal this year is Kevin Murphy. Kevin is very active in the Irish community. He's a director of the Motor City Irish Festival, which has grown tremendously. And I also had the opportunity to induct him into the Michigan Irish American Hall of Fame in September in Muskegon. So he's going to be our Grand Marshal. Each of the United Irish Societies, I mentioned the Queen of Detroit United Irish Societies, we bring young kids in for a pageant, and they represent the UIS all year. And this year our Queen is Bridget Grum, and her court, Marie Hines and Madeline Tripp. And they'll be involved with all the events. And we also, as I mentioned, the Ladies Ancient Order of Hibernians Rose Kennedy Division, they have a scholarship program, and the winners of the Hibernian Scholarship this year are Bridget Haggerty, Keegan Tripp, and Ashley Doyle, and they'll represent the Ancient Order of Hibernians. And there are several groups of Ancient Order of Hibernians and Ladies Ancient Order of Hibernians that are involved in United Irish Societies, and they're at their events. And then during parade week, we commingle the kids together, and they show up at events together. They enjoy their time, but they also get active with the Irish community, and as we try to bring younger people involved and get them into the parade and get them into these Irish organizations. Again, it's a big parade, and thank goodness for Kitch attorneys and counselors and their support. And that's all for Sunday.
Yeah, and it is coming up, and I am excited about it. DetroitSt.PatricksParade.com if you want to learn more, get more details on everything. And Mike Kelly, I really appreciate your time on Daily Detroit. It's good to talk to you.
It's a pleasure. Thanks so much again for what you do. And, again, I'd just like to invite everyone out to the 65th Annual Detroit St. Patrick's Parade on Sunday, March 12th, starting at 1 o'clock. The parade goes from Michigan and 6th all the way down to 14th Street, all the way through Corktown. And there's parking on the north side, and there's the south side is family bound, and the north side is for people that want to visit the Irish establishments up on Michigan Avenue.
Yes, of which I have partaken in quite a few. Having friends at the Gaelic League is a fun thing.
They're part of the UIS, and they do a great job down there. They've had their 100th year anniversary this year, and it's a wonderful place to be on Parade Day and even on St. Patrick's Day. But again, the parade is always the Sunday before St. Patrick's Day, so that the Irish organizations have 2 days for revenue.
Well, our Friday host, Devin O'Reilly, always says that Parade Day is warm-up day for St. Patrick's Day.
Well, some of us, St. Patrick's Day in Ireland is a holy day, and it's a day where everyone gets up and goes to Mass. Then they spend time with their family and friends and celebrate. Like us here, we'll step off at Mass. We have Mass at Most Holy Trinity with Monsignor Kosanke, who's actually Irish. His mother is a Clancy, and he likes to say that. And we'll have Mass there at 10:30, and then we step off and we stage at 6th and Porter, and then we move right out to Michigan Avenue and turn west and head right out. And the parade, if you're at the front of the parade, it's over about 2:30. If you're at the end of the parade, it's 4 o'clock. It's a great day.
It is going to be a very fun day, and thank you so much for your time, Mike.
Jared, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you down on the parade route, my friend.
As always, feedback on the show, dailydetroit@gmail.com. If you want to support what we're doing, patreon.com/dailydetroit. Incoming attractions. Tomorrow, Fletcher Sharp will join me, but we're only talking a little bit about sports because there was a new signing by Detroit City FC. The rest, we're going to talk about stories around town. And of course, Friday, Devin O'Reilly joins me to have our fun Fridays, Mr. Friday himself. All right, with that, I am Jer Stays. Thank you so much for listening. Remember that you are somebody, and we'll see you around Detroit.